Welcome back to Madre Verde, Oregon. If you're new here, please click subscribe, and if you like what you see, share it with a friend. Today, we are going to do, I am going to be doing a series on cookbooks. So when it comes to the structure of the videos, I realized that, wow, someone who is a practicing vegan may not want me to talk about meat and watch my, the video and comments on all the best, meat books. So I decided I would just do these in little sections and series, and then you can click in and see the ones that you like. I am going to start with raw. My husband and I, when we first met, did a raw food diet probably for maybe like 3 or 4 months. I mean, at the end of the day, I think all of us could eat more vegetables, right? And do well with eating more vegetables. But other than a basic salad or maybe like a clean carrot, when it came to raw food, a lot of people are perplexed on how to make good raw food. And there's so many things that you can do, amazing smoothies and soups and of course salads, but there's a lot of creativity there as well. I like this one. Raw Food, Real Food by Matthew Kenny and Sarma Melangailis. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I believe the story on this one, they were a kind of like high profile, well-known family in New York City. I think they were married in New York. I think they've gotten divorced since then. There was some like online drama in the raw food groups. But they had some crazy New York restaurant, and these recipes are amazing. Like this one, this red grapefruit, avocado, and fennel salad, like just gorgeous. And they have beautiful smoothies, and you can get really fancy, like a red beet ravioli. They tell you how to make like the mock cheese, a raw food cheese, which is of course with like cashews. But really lovely food. Things that when you're eating them, they just make you feel great. They're great for your digestion. And even though we no longer are a raw family, I pull from this still, and I do sides and dishes. And especially as we go into summer, like this is just the best food to eat. And then this one, Raw, the Uncook book. This guy, let me find his name, Giuliano, in LA, in Santa Monica, I don't know if it's still there, Giuliano had a raw food restaurant, and I did go eat there, and the food is just delicious. Like, it's little crazy flavor bomb. But anyway, this one also just has a lot of recipes that are doable. They're not insane. Some of them take more effort, but there's a lot in here that you can easily make and are delicious. One criteria that I have for cookbooks is the recipes have to be doable. I am a geek in the kitchen, but I work too much to have a ton of time. So I have to be able to feasibly do the recipe. If I follow the recipe, it's got to turn out. It drives me nuts if I eat something and I'm like, that is disgusting, and I know I followed the recipe. So I want a cookbook that is easy to follow, good recipes, not really ridiculously hard to find ingredients, because then it's useless to me, and photos. I'm a huge photo person, so people recommend cookbooks all the time, and if there's no photos, I just don't like them. I almost don't trust them. It's like I need to see the photo to kind of be like, okay, that gets me into the idea of making it. But you'll notice that trend. I really don't recommend books that don't have photos. Okay, so now moving away from raw, because raw is kind of the extreme end of it, we'll go into vegan. So this one, Vegan for Everybody, is by America's Test Kitchen. And again, because we're food geeks, we love America's Test Kitchen, and they just consistently give recipes and items that if you make, it will taste amazing. This like roasted poblano and white bean chili, like so good. And some delicious creamy cashew mac and cheese. Like, this is like the gateway of being vegan, I think. Like, find a really, really good mac and cheese recipe and you'll be like, what? But then you'll do it and it is so bomb. So good. This makes me hungry, actually. The Oh She Glows cookbook. This one, again, just has some like amazingly beautiful salads to bring places. This festive kale salad with sweet apple, cinnamon vinaigrette, and pecan parmesan. Like, gorgeous. Glowing strawberry mango guacamole. I mean, look at that. So good. Oh, she glows. Everything in it is just really, really delicious, and it's good for you. It's wholesome. They're whole foods. I just really recommend it. So this next one, I love this cookbook. Thug Kitchen. It's Eat Like You Give a, we're not going to say that, and they actually blur it out. But I think in the book, just as a heads up, it is, I wonder if you can buy a censored version. Yeah, because they drop a lot of bombs, bad words. So I would give a parental advisory on this book, but the food is outstanding. And I don't know a lot about who actually wrote it, but man, like every recipe that you make out of this one is incredible. And one of our favorite is the smoked almond chickpea salad Sammy. You use chickpeas almost like you would if you were gonna make a tuna fish salad, but there's some paprika and some delicious just flavors in the chickpeas, and it was like blow your mind delicious. Then I think out of these, yeah, I think that this is my next favorite cookbook. It's the Wicked Healthy Cookbook. And this one is by Chad Sarno, Derek Sarno, and David Joachim. Hoping I say that correctly. Forward by Woody Harrelson. Boy, these guys are, I believe they're chefs, like James Beard chefs. I have to go through this. I'm pretty sure that they were, because they're next level. This cookbook, it's a great mixture of, if you are a foodie and you are skilled, you can go next level on this. You can kind of geek out on some ingredients and techniques, but they also have things that are really accessible. You can tell that they have a passion for beautiful ingredients. They are the kind of cookbook that you want to come home to after you go to the farmer's market, right? And you got all that fresh bounty of stuff. This is what you want to do because it's going to showcase it. But they make food that is so beautiful and so delicious. We have done the corn dumplings in a coconut corn broth. Like, that is so beautiful and delicious. We did a New England lobster roll. This was with lobster mushrooms, which you can actually get at grocery stores a certain time of year. And they are red and they look like lobster, and you can make lobster rolls, and they actually have a bit of a fish taste. And so those like blew my mind. And the spicy, I never can say this mushroom right, but spicy maitake steak sandwich. They're the big like layered crazy oysters, and I think you can do them with oyster mushrooms as well. Not layered oysters, they're layered mushrooms, but there's another type of, I think it's an oyster mushroom. Anyway, they're becoming more and more available in grocery stores because I think as veganism has started to kind of catch on as a thing, people are, and also just our food sources, we're getting more stuff. But I've seen an uptick in a more large assortment of mushrooms. It's not just like a portobello, but you can also find these in Asian markets. And usually the price point on vegetables in Asian markets are better. So we often go there because they just have gorgeous greens, different types of cabbages, eggplants, and then the mushrooms. They just have phenomenal mushrooms. But you take the mushrooms and you have 2 hot cast iron skillets and you kind of smash them together, and you can season them with like any sort of steak seasoning, like a peppery black seasoning, and maybe a little smoked paprika. They are so like meaty and delicious, and they have so much umami, that like depth of flavor. And I had never done it before this cookbook, and my husband and I would do that with some like french fries on the side, and they are delicious. It's a beautiful, beautiful flavor. Okay, moving along. So this one is the No Meat Athlete Cookbook. A lot of people will say, well, I can't, be vegan because I need this to run, or I need this to be whatever. And we follow Rich Roll, and he is a hardcore distance runner, massive athlete, vegan, and he's a huge activist for other vegan athletes. And there's some incredible data on how well your body actually can perform being vegan, and how fast it can repair, lower inflammation. Worth checking out if that would be the only thing that would be holding you back. But this has wonderful salad. I just love a picture of a good salad. Coffee table books. We just have a couple more, but the rich roll. So they did the PlantPowered Way. This one is just, it's a wonderful cookbook. It's also, there's a lot of stories in here and like information on kind of healthy lifestyles, but there's some really, really good recipes as well. Different like tomato sauces, guacamole, salad dressings, really, really good smoothie recipes. And it's just beautiful and it's inspiring because you got Rich Roll like running without a shirt on and looking fantastic. And I don't know. I don't think drinking a smoothie is going to get me there, but it makes me think that maybe it will, and maybe I can do that. So we'll see. Anyway, this one is lovely. And his wife, Julie Piat, I never can say her, I'm terrible with names, but she is a yoga teacher. I mean, we listen to their podcast too, and she just seems like the most lovely, beautiful person, and she cooks all this stuff and makes these incredible recipes. And then we got the PlantPowered Italia. This was another book that they did. It's a kitchen table book. They did it in Italy, and there is some awesome vegan recipes in here where she is making a couple cheeses. She makes a vegan mozzarella and she makes a vegan orange cheese. It's actually a traditional cheese. It's from Sicily and it's made from almonds, and it is so good. It's delicious, which I love Italy, so I thought that was just like really amazing that they were doing it, but really, really, really good food. And I mean, it's just, again, it's another one that you're looking at and it is visually like just gorgeous to look at and or have out and inspiring. And again, they do little stories throughout it to just have like this healthier lifestyle. Those are really, really good books. And then lastly, one of the things that I was asked a lot when we were being vegan was, well, my kids would never eat that way. What do you feed them? And I thought that was interesting because my kids did eat that way, and your kids follow what you're eating. You know, I'm not going to say it was always easy, especially as we started introducing a lot more vegetables, because when that's what you can eat, you start naturally exploring way more than just like lettuce and celery, right? You're going to explore all the different kinds that are out there. And we would get asked like, oh, but my kids won't eat this or this. And it's like little by little they do. I mean, I forget the statistic, but there is something where you have to introduce a food source. I think it's like 20 times before kids can really define, do they like it or not? And you got to think about their palate. In some cases, some of these bitters and different flavors are things that they have not had before. And this is your chance to kind of broaden their palate. And man, by the end, my kids really did eat broadly. They were not just living on like vegan chicken nuggets, right? They were eating all sorts of stuff. So I did research though, because I wanted to make sure like, well, how do I, sometimes you have to trick them. Like sometimes you are doing smoothies and things, but what are some ideas that they will eat? And this PlantPowered Families by Drina Burton is great. And it's my jam. It's got a lot of photos, but she makes some delicious vegan meals for kids. Ship-shaped joes. They're like sloppy joes made with lentils. Lentil tacos are like a delicious thing that kids will totally eat. The mac and cheese is amazing. Soups. There's a lot of fun things that the kids can eat in here, and I just thought that was a great option if that is something that's challenging for you. And then, but my family would never eat vegan. This is 125 recipes to win everyone over. That's one of my children. Christy Turner. This one, again, lots of beautiful pictures. She does a jackfruit carnitas burrito bowl. And I mean, jackfruit is a crazy thing. If you've never had it, it totally tastes like shredded meat, like shredded pork or something. It's bizarre. There's so many lovely substitutes. And she just makes a lot of like comfort food things that you can cook for the whole family. Sometimes they won't even know that it's vegan. We did that a lot of times. We would have people over and we just didn't even talk about that the meal was vegan. And we just made it and people enjoyed it. So there's a lot of options in here, and that's one to explore. Even if you just want to have a couple days a week where you're having some healthier vegan meals, you can kind of sneak those in. Believe it or not, this is a small portion of my vegan cookbooks because we really went all in to try to, embrace it and research what recipes, but these are definitely the favorite, and I will link them below. I will find them online so that there's a link for them. And if you buy any of these and love them, or if you have a vegan cookbook that I didn't mention that you think is awesome, please comment and tell me, because I always like to add to my collection. So that is all that I have now. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoy some of these books.
Bye-bye.